The main thing that you do differently in this fight in comparison to regular Fennel is play better. The main problem is obviously the lightning is constantly spawning. And the property of the lightning, of how it spawns semi-randomly. It's always going to be somewhat fixated on Mario, but it'll have a range of however big. And we can use this a bit to our advantage. What we can try to do is we can take the lightning and get it to go somewhere else. So instead of it being on us, or on us and Fennel, we want the lightning to be away. So that we have an opportunity to hit Fennel without getting hit by the lightning. So one thing that I do a lot in this fight is I take really far jumps to the side to get the lightning to spawn closer there. Because I want to have as much room to myself with Fennel as I possibly can. And I want to be able to react to what she does easier. I was dead no matter what there. So, like I was saying, the jumps out to bring the lightning further away is what really helps. And maybe it's not to bring it further away, maybe it's to keep it where you already are. So intentionally delaying your movement to have the lightning be somewhere that you don't want it to be later. So something that I will show as soon as I die again is in the very beginning, I do a jump out to bring the lightning away from Fennel, because Fennel always starts pretty much the same way. That was a late jump. I should be dead. Yeah, punished. So at the very start, I come all the way out to Fennel and then immediately jump so I can lure the lightning away. So I'll show it again. I'm gonna actually mute this for a second so I can explain it a little bit better. I'll do it in slow-mo as well. So at the very start, I jump all the way out. Well, slow-mo makes this timing a little bit different, just because I'm not used to it. I get out as far out as I possibly can so the lightning spawns in the middle, and then that lets me jump over and see what she does without having to worry about the lightning near me. So doing that in full speed again. I jump out. That was bad RNG. It was supposed to spawn further out, but the idea is should be able to see it once it spawns. I'm gonna get hit here. Or maybe not. But as you can see, I don't know if my mouse cursor shows up. Doesn't? Oh, it does. Okay. So you can see over here that most of the lightning spawned all the way over here. So then when Fennel comes over, she's going to be a lot more vulnerable because the lightning isn't protecting her. That's like the key part of this, basically this entire fight is your lightning management. You want to keep the lightning away from Fennel, and by doing that, or to do that, that involves using Mario to jump out to the side, staying in the middle, doing movements that will get it away from Fennel. That's most of the difficulty in this fight, is getting the lightning to be in a place where you're actually able to hit Fennel. So I can show this a bit better now. Like, if I just try to stay in the lightning and try to dodge it, that was a bad example, but if I stay inside the lightning, it becomes a lot harder, because the lightning is almost always going to be on Fennel and around, and it's more stuff that you have to worry about. And all you want to be worrying about is getting hits on Fennel, because that's the only way you can progress in the fight, obviously. But like there, I do a far jump out so that the lightning could go to the right, and then I would have an opportunity to hit Fennel in the middle. Even tiny jumps to the side help. Every little bit helps, because while it isn't perfect, you're going to get a much better chance at getting a hit than you would be just leaving it still. Yeah, I knew I was dead because of that left lightning. And sometimes you can get in a good chain of getting hits in the middle, but I wouldn't really recommend that because it's a lot more difficult. And plus, it also requires you to be a lot luckier. Oh, that was 10 hits, okay. Yeah. Another thing about this fight is that the mushroom is basically required for the second phase. I won't say that it is totally 100% required, but having the mushroom in the second phase makes it actually, like, viable to beat. And as far as I'm aware, every clear of Omega Fennel, every first clear of Omega Fennel, as far as I'm aware, was done with a mushroom in the second phase. Not getting hit in the first 10 hits is basically essential. Because in the beginning, you don't have to worry about the dreaded spinning sword into jump, which in Omega Fennel is a billion times worse than it is in regular. And anyone that's played regular Fennel enough knows exactly how hard that is. So being able to keep your mushroom, playing it safe in the beginning, is quite crucial. Now, if you're playing and you're just playing it for, you know, like you don't have any attempts going, you want to just get to the second phase, you want to just feel some kind of progress, even if you know you're probably not going to win it, you might as well keep going. But if you get hit in the first, like, 1 or 2 hits, I would say just throw the attempt. Get another attempt going, get better RNG. I only had 6 hits before I got it. Wow, that was awful. Yeah. Yeah, keeping the mushroom is pretty important. That was pretty awful lightning. That a jump? Oh, I had a really awful jump there. This tutorial will be on YouTube. Yes, it will be. What's a beach Luda? I haven't been playing super great tonight. This is probably the first time I've played Omega Fennel in probably a few weeks. Probably since getting back to college campus. I don't know, there's really not a whole lot much else to talk about in terms of specific strats that I do, because most of it is just lightning management and trying to get it in a place where you want it, and then just having mastery of how the original Fennel fight works. I'll also say that if you don't, or if you're not good at the original Fennel fight, like you can't beat it with any degree of consistency, then playing Omega Fennel is going to be way more difficult. Learning how the fight works without constant lightning makes it a whole lot better. Yeah. I meant to stay between the lightning there. But that's exactly what I'm talking about in that phase. Having the mushroom allows you to get it by a free, it's a get out of jail free card for the spinning sword and to jump. Which in Omega Fennel is absolutely brutal. Yeah, I played that super poorly. And another thing about the mushroom is that, given that you are able to take the free hit, I mean, this goes without saying for basically any boss, but when you have the mushroom, make use of your iframes. Don't let them go to waste. You should be able to get at least 2 or 3 hits for basically for free when you have the mushroom and you take damage. Here I can't really do anything because it was the 9th hit. I'm all messed up on my timings for this. It's been forever since I've played this. I went off my normal strat and screwed it up. That was going to be 10 hits, but without a mushroom. The reason I wasn't going for any hits there was because I was desynced. And I should actually probably talk about what I mean by that. Basically, I mean, the lightning is on a fixed rate. It'll always come out every so often. I wasn't looking at the lightning. I lost focus. What I mean by that is Fennel's movement can fall away from how the lightning is timed, so it makes landing hits a hell of a lot more difficult. And then lightning is just in positions where he can't really do anything. And as for how you get into that state, it's not really something that I can really say with any sort of definitive answer. It just kind of happens due to the nature of this fight, given how random it is. Also, the position of the lightning may just be beneficial for you, so it doesn't even really feel like you're desynced. Yeah, I knew I was dead to lightning. I don't know how many hits that was. But as for getting resynced, my recommendation is just dodge the lightning until you see a fairly simple opportunity to get a hit. That was really weird. Are there any questions so far about this? I don't know how helpful this really is, given that I haven't beaten Omega Fennel yet. I really didn't expect her to dash there. Yeah. Where are the hitboxes for everything exactly? Apparently not there. The lightning lasts for, I believe, 6 frames. I don't remember exactly. It's somewhere around 6 frames is how long the lightning lasts. As for its size, I would say just consider, like, I would say basically consider the entire lightning bolt as a hitbox. Yeah, so here's an example. I would just consider this entire thing a hitbox. Actually, okay, I guess here's better. So the way that it is, like, turned like this and how it, like, curves, I would say the most, like, outer part of the curve doesn't entirely have a hitbox. Like, it's more so like the central main column where, like, the bulk is, that's the main hitbox of the lightning. So if you have, like, this tiny little, like, thing here, then you're like, if you have a Mario width between most of, like, the main bolt of the lightning, then then you are most likely able to stand there. Here you don't really have enough room, but here you definitely do. So yeah, that's at least how I judge. It's like, if I have, like, a full Mario and I can stand within the lightning and, like, only be barely touching it, like, this is about as close as it gets, probably. Final, her hitbox is just, like, pretty much how it shows. Actually, here's another good example. The hitbox for the stomp. Think of this as basically 3 rectangles. There's a rectangle here with these 5 things of smoke, dust clouds, I could call them. So there's like a rectangle here. Then there's another rectangle for these 3, which is slightly more in, but it's still fairly large. TJB, thank you for the raid. What are you playing tonight? Thanks for the raid, man. I appreciate it. What's up, DJ? And then these 2 smoke tiles are like a rectangle as well. So it's basically just 3 stacked rectangles. You fly me to the stars for the first time. Nice job. GG's. Very cool. Glad you had fun with it. Yeah, that's basically the stomp hitbox. The sword hitbox is basically, like, you see these pixels over here? That's a part of the hitbox. These part of the hitbox. It's just massive rectangle, basically stretching the length of the sword all the way around her. That's basically the sword hitbox. I pressed jump, man. I feel robbed from that one. Did my alert just work? The fuck? Oh, you gotta jump, you idiot. Anonymous, thank you for the gift sub. To Zaplex. Whoever you are, Anonymous, thank you. Seriously, thank you. Thank you for the follow. I would really like to get a single clear. Like, I don't want to run this whole tutorial without being able to actually beat the boss. Thank you, Zaplex. Appreciate it. I'm gonna need it for this fight. It's a lot. The dash really threw me off, and now I'm desynced. Actually, no, that reminds me. The dash attack is very much the thing that will desync this fight. Like, if she does a single dash attack, then you're basically just in a much worse position than you were before. If she does 2 in a row, then that's much more doable. Plus, you can kind of get a hit off of it, depending on your distance. I jumped way too early to make that viable. Yeah, most of the things from my regular Fennel tutorial still apply here in terms of getting hits on Fennel. The big thing is that you're worrying about lightning management the whole time. Thank you for the follow. I pressed jump, man. Fuck off. Did the jump, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no wins. It's a hard game. Hard game, hard. I also haven't played it in several weeks, so I'm just very off my game. I think I was 18. Shoutouts to Kaz. I don't know how many that actually was, but there you go. That was exhausting to get that first win. Oh my god. That took a lot longer than I expected it to. But hey, it's good. I'm not even gonna bother putting a streak counter. So yeah. I don't know. I don't want to end it with just one win, but I don't know what else to really say about the fight, because the biggest thing about it is just being able to manage your lightning, and you need to have confidence in your strats in just fighting Fennel normally. Also, credits percent took 40 minutes. It's actually not even credits percent, it's not a valid ROM. But yeah, so I don't know what else to really mention about the fight. Focus is obviously a big thing, although I mean, these are kind of things that don't really help in terms of gameplay, because it's like, oh, just make sure you're focused and make sure you're paying attention to the lightning. It's like, yeah, no shit. But there's not really a whole lot to say else regarding that. Because of course you want to be focused, but actually, I guess I will say, if you're someone that's playing this that hasn't seen anyone beat Omega Fennel before, and for some reason you're playing it and watching this tutorial and not learning it blind, even though you haven't watched someone else, I don't know. If you're in some weird-ass boat where you haven't seen this and you're trying to beat it, be wary that after the 20 hits, you're not done. The 20 hits is merely a good luck. Now is your chance. Because after you land all 20 hits, lightning keeps spawning as her death animation plays out. It's not over till it's over. I knew I was dead to jump anyway, but I missed the hit. Because after you get all 20 hits, lightning just spawns. And when that happens, that should be the easiest part, theoretically. But obviously nerves make everything harder. It's really just a you gotta be ready for, and you need to know how to manage your lightning in order to get through it. Dead jump. So now, you're just dodge the lightning. Just get it away from you. All you need to do, just get the lightning away from you. Jump to one side. So I'm over here. Get the lightning over here. Run out of the way. Jump over here. Get it out of the way. Come over here. Just get it away from you. Let it spawn. Get between it if you absolutely have to. But I will recommend, don't get between the lightning. That is an easy fuck up to make. And it is the easiest way you can possibly die at the 20th hit. Also second clear. Cool. Back in the groove of it, I guess. So this fight is absolutely fucking awful. First playthrough. Thank you, Ramsey. First playthrough is pretty fucking awful. But, I mean, that goes for a lot of fights, honestly. Like, Casio 3 battles are regular Fennel, Omega Fennel. Like, they're all awful until you beat it. And understand how it works. You want to understand how it works in order to really appreciate how cool the fight is or how fun it is. Regular Fennel was fun as fuck. Well, I'm glad to hear that, because not everyone thinks that. Not everyone shares that opinion. But yeah, getting the lightning away from you in that last section, not everyone dies to that. Like, you have a pretty good shot of just winning it without any problem. But, I mean, there's, like, Dwal Grimm. He had, I think, 3 20-hit deaths before he got it. Which, I'm so sorry for him, but still, it's like, you need to be ready for it when it comes. If that means counting your hits in your head, and knowing, okay, I'm at 19 hits, okay, I'm about to get the 20th hit, and I need to be ready to get out of there alive. Then you get out of there alive is what the goal is. And it's the exact same lightning management that you do for the entire rest of the fight. If you were able to make it that far with all the lightning management that you're required to do, you should be able to get that 20th hit, unless you have an awful spread of lightning. But it's pretty rare to have a literally unplayable spread of lightning at the end. So, also I think I did the second phase with Final Mushroom, which is pretty nice. They're doing the same lightning management this whole time. Getting the lightning away from you, being able to have an opportunity to stay safer, even if it's just for a little bit. That is what you're doing the entire fight. That is the entire idea. Yeah, I messed that up. Like, even here, like, I'm just getting the lightning away from me, and then I have a free hit on Fennel. If I play better. Like, I get it over here. Get it over here so I can dodge it. Get it over here, and then I can come here. Like, I wasn't even worrying about Fennel right there. I'm just trying to get the lightning away from me in order to survive. And I mean, I'm not trying to make you apply that to this part of the fight, because when you're here, you need to obviously manage your lightning, but you also need to get hits on Fennel. I was just demonstrating proof of concept that that's what you want to do during the 20th hit. And like there, if you're going between the lightning, that's a recipe for disaster. If that's literally your only option, then I really hope you memorized where exactly it was. But you don't want that to be your... You don't want that to be the thing that prevented you from getting the win on Omega Fennel. But yeah. I might go for one more clear and then call it. Because it's really about mastery of the original fight and lightning management. At this point, I probably sound like a broken record, but... And ideally, you have a mushroom for the second phase. Dead. I was in a really awful timing for that. She didn't even do her spinning sword into a jump, which is the really bad one. Yeah. I don't know. I think that's most of what I wanted to talk about Omega Fennel. It's a fun fight. Omega Fennel is really fun. I would absolutely recommend playing it. I don't know if I don't know if I could say that. I don't know if I can say absolutely recommend it, but I don't know. If you were looking to, I don't know, like, get better at learned bosses, I don't know what exactly to call it. I mean, all bosses require some amount of learning, right? But in terms of, like, RNG heavy learned bosses, like Kaiser 3 Bowser, stuff like that. If you're looking to get better at those kinds of fights where you're dealing with randomness that goes beyond just an attack pool. Like, okay. Like, and a boss could do one of 3 different attacks. But the attacks all do the exact same thing and have no variation. If you're looking for something that is truly going to test your ability to react on the fly and get better at that kind of boss, which, given how hacks are going, custom bosses with, like, you know, randomness and, like, different attacks, stuff like that, is becoming a lot more popular. I would recommend playing this. If you truly want to get good at learning how to react and to deal with RNG, I would absolutely recommend playing this. It'll absolutely tear your fucking hair out, but You will learn. You will get good if you truly want to beat this. I don't know if there's anything else I want to say. If there's any questions in chat, I can take them now. But otherwise, I'll call it here for the Omega Fennel tutorial, and I'll move on to something else tonight.